So here's the deal. This guy on Discord keeps trying to message people, but each time someone accepts his friend request, the moment he starts a conversation, the person he's messaging gets a knock on the door and types BRB, or be right back, or sometimes just hang on. Only they never come back. He doesn't know what happens to them. Never gets enough details to figure out real names, where they live, or who's knocking. Just that someone's at their door. Knock knock, and then boom. Gone. Ghosted. I'm about to find out why. See, I'm the next guy to chat with him. He claims he wants to hire me to solve the mystery, and he promised me $50 if I can tell him who's at the door. It's always within the first 5 minutes. So, someone's gonna knock and make me disappear. I mean, yeah, that's what keeps happening. Lol. How many people so far? 8. You're sure you're just not accidentally disconnecting? Oh, I'm sure. You definitely disappear. But if I don't, you'll Venmo me $50. Yeah. Just tell me why everybody else vanishes. I check my watch. Only a sucker would believe him. Just call me Jack Sucker Waldy. $50 is just big enough, and 5 minutes just short enough that even though I know I'm being strung along, I linger like a jackal eyeing a plump bird overhead, waiting in the impossible hope it'll fall from the sky. I ask him if he can tell me anything about the 8 others who disappeared. He claims he knows nothing about them except their username, which he can't remember accurately. It's only been 2 minutes. Hey, reminds me of a joke. Knock knock. Who's there? Jack Juicy. Jack Juicy who? Of course I don't see who. Nobody's knocked yet. Knock knock. Who's there? Jack Whittleweed. Do you only know jokes with your name in them? Jack Rattleweed who? I told you. We gotta wait till they knock. Bro, just stop. I got a million of these. My favorite is actually a Britney one. Like most of my material, it's not a Jack original. I'm about to tell it anyway, when my phone pings, and nope, nothing related to knocking. It's just my girl, asking how study is going. I should probably get off Discord, before she actually comes down here to my basement office to check on me. I hover the mouse over the chat tab to close in, keeping one eye on the clock. Right as I'm about to click, there's a knocking at my door. The number one rule of the paranormal is, it's not real. 99.9% of the time, anyone telling you a ghost story is selling you a fiction. They might believe in that fiction themselves. In fact, that's why these things travel so well. Nothing sells a lie like a true believer. But at the end of the day, the chain email is not going to curse you, the creepy doll is not going to come to life, and there'll never be a knocking at your door that will result in your sudden disappearance off the face of the earth. And Jack, you are never going to get that 50. So close that chat already. Without closing the chat, I get up and go up the stairs to the door so I can let my fiancée into my basement office. My girl, Emma, is a straight A overachiever going for her master's in public policy. She promised we'll announce our engagement once I earn my GED, which is why I'm supposed to be studying. Me. I dropped out of high school and quickly found my true calling. Raising money for charity. Specifically charity for yours truly. Yeah, I'm a scam artist. Spent the better part of a decade involved in everything from catfishing to setting up GoFundMes that just fund me. Only degree I ever got was in BS. My girl wants me to go to business school and get an actual degree. I reformed before I met her. Straightened out a couple summers ago after karma slapped me into a coma. Nothing like a near death to make a man reevaluate his choices. So the real reason I stayed in this chat is not for that 50. I stayed on the teensy chance people really are disappearing. Because this is my new charity work. This is how I make up for my misdeeds. I save people, as a paranormal investigator. Which, as I've mentioned, 99% of the time is just about uncovering scams. No way this dude is legit. Everyone he chats with disappears in 5 minutes. 8 people and no one noticed the connection? Come on. But also, what kind of sucker would I be to make it 9? Babe? I wrap my knuckles on the door and grip the knob. Wanna hear a joke? I wait and wait, pretending not to notice the goosebumps on my arms, pretending not to feel the cold knot of dread forming in my gut when she doesn't answer. Then I let the knob slide back into its closed position, drop down and peek under the bottom of the door. No feet. Not even a shadow. No one is there. I trot back downstairs and type, knock knock. Who's there? You tell me, bud. There's knocking on my door. Want to explain what's really out there and why you keep luring people to it? Most entities I've encountered follow specific rules. Since they don't belong in this world, they often require an invitation or a summons. You're probably already familiar with this concept through folklore. Stuff like vampires needing to be invited inside, or the devil making a deal to swindle someone out of their soul. The reoccurring theme is that whatever terrible fate befalls the victim is in some way incurred by spoken or unspoken agreement, like paranormal terms and conditions. I accepted his friend request. Next came the knocking. If I open the door, next comes my disappearance. Each step an invitation to the next. But what did I really invite? And what's this guy's connection to it? Oh shit, there's knocking for real? Rest in peace, I guess. I peeked under the door and no one's there. Wait, really? Oh my god, holy shit, you're the first person who hasn't ghosted me. Are you shitting me or is this for real? Who are you? What's your real name? I'm not comfortable giving my name out online. Why the fuck are you luring people? I'm fucking not, man. I'm just Tim. That's my real name, Tim. I'm just a dude. I have no idea why people get knocks on their doors after I friend them. Meet me in video chat. Yeah, sure, okay. Yes, Christ, yes. I want to know as bad as you. But the video chat is all staticky. It's very difficult to make out Tim. His room is dark, as if all the lights are off, or else the video is just very low quality and the connection terrible. I cannot hear him speak. The knocking continues on the door to my basement office. I need names. Nothing but static. I can't hear you. Look, just send screenshots of your previous chats. And the 50. Why do you need screenshots? Isn't that like a violation of privacy? Do you want to know what's knocking or not? I reply out loud. Tim can obviously hear me and probably see me too, because he hems and haws and types out his response to me on the keyboard. It is not until I threaten to log off that he finally relents. $50 from some guy named Tim shows up in my account, followed by a series of screenshots. All his conversations follow the exact same pattern as mine. A short exchange followed by a BRB or hang on. The only variation is in how he opens the conversation. Initially beginning with, I'm looking to make friends, but as he gets ghosted changing it up to, I'm trying to figure out why everyone disappears. At one point he says, does everyone just hate me? Seems like just a regular lonely dude baffled by the world turning him out. He's pitiful enough in these conversations I might assume it's his extreme social ineptitude putting people off. Except for the knocking. The knocking won't quit. When I get up and walk over to the egress window to crack it open, the knocking at the top of the stairs moves to the nearby storage room door. And when I go to take a leak, the knocking comes from the bathroom door, barring me from going in to use the toilet. Good thing I have the potted plant down here that needs watering. Oof, this is gonna get real inconvenient real fast. Jack, you're in trouble now. Sorry for the pun. I'd pee myself out, but as you know, I can't. And unless I can figure out who's behind this knocking, I'm next in line to disappear. So much for studying. My first and best play here is to learn what I can from the previous victims, and after rereading their chats I start digging for deeper data. The first guy I identify is a 67-year-old boomer who uses the Discord handle Quinton. Real name, Quinton. And his password is almost certainly password, or 03, which is his birthday that he also publicly shares, along with his address on white pages. He lives about an hour away from me. His last post was 1 week ago, and friends of his are posting birthday wishes on his Facebook, asking about him, though there's nothing in local news about him being officially missing as of yet. The next user I identify is T. Foxfire, who uses the same username for her blog, which links to her Instagram, where she shares videos of herself, real name Lucia T, walking her cat Boo. From the landmarks in her videos I find her address, and since she's in the next suburb over, only 12 minutes away, I call a lift. Lucia's conversation with Tim was 2 days ago and there's no missing persons report for her either. While waiting for the lift I search the other users, trying to find any I can identify quickly. The next to come up is Discord user Rossman, who I find via the same profile picture on Instagram as Osman. She turns up in the local news. Search for missing woman continues. I'm still trying to ID the other victims when my lift arrives. Since doors aren't an option, I go through the egress window. As I approach the lift, is that rapping I hear from inside, muffled by the ambient noise of the wind? Just to be safe, I ask my driver to lower the rear passenger window so I can climb gracelessly in. My upper body collapsing into the seat and my legs kicking out like I'm stuck in a shitty sitcom. Only thing missing is the laugh track. The driver stares like I've lost my mind. Smile, Jack. Thumbs up. This is gonna be a great day. Lucia T. lives in the lower level of a red brick duplex in a Nazi neighborhood. Someone has written a poem in marker on an upper window of the duplex, and Boo the cat peers out at me from the curtains of a lower window. I ascend the front steps only to be immediately exasperated, because like most duplexes, Lucia's has doors. As soon as I approach, the knocking starts up. I back off and head to the window, rapping my knuckles on the frames and looking for any that might be open. I'm standing there with my hands cupped to the glass, peeking in like a dictionary definition of shady, when the front door opens and an old lady confronts me. It's Lucia's landlady and upstairs neighbor Doreen, who, according to Lucia's Instagram, adores her cat Boo. I tell Doreen I was passing by and the cat was howling, and I looked in and saw what looked like someone passed out inside. It's a lie I blurt out right in a moment, but I have what my girls calls puppy eyes, sweet and earnest. I turn on full labradoodle mode. My concern is contagious enough that Doreen wants to call the police, but I tell her if the passed out person needs CPR, it might be too late if we wait. She can call while we quickly check. Doreen unlocks the door, seeming not to notice the knocking. Nothing happens to her when she opens it. She's not the invitee after all. Lucy? She calls. Hello? I call as I follow her in. Nothing but a cozy living room and a wide-eyed cat. While the landlady goes to check the bedroom, I unlatch a window and open it just a crack. We do not find Lucia. I apologize profusely to Doreen and tell her I must have been imagining that I saw someone fall. I definitely heard a fart, but it must have been the cat. We go back outside, me babbling about how I'm so attuned to cats. I'm not. Dogs are objectively better. Have you ever seen a guide cat for the blind? Of course not. Even cat fanatics know that cats are assholes, who'd let the blind walk right into the walls. We chat a little longer and I say goodbye and head on my way. Right back around to that window slipping inside. And now, I snoop. What happened to Lucia? There was no buildup of mail outside, no evidence that she's in fact missing. But the cat's food and water bowls are empty, and the cat is hounding me, weaving at my feet. When I told the landlady the cat was signaling me for help, I was lying, but now this distressed little animal genuinely seems to be trying to tell me something important. Hey buddy, where's Lucia? I ask. A dog would recognize the name and take off in search of its owner. The cat, of course, does no such thing, only meowing louder and in my face, clawing at my jeans. Useless. I press my hand to the door and all the hairs on my arm stand on end. When I take my hand away, the hairs settle. I'm not a medium. Not exactly. But ever since my very first paranormal encounter, I've been attuned to the uncanny. My first encounter left me marked. That happens when you catch the attention of the wrong entity. In my case, the markings is an ink tattoo of a lady in red on my left arm. She's a demon who has sworn to catch me and punish me for all my life's misdeeds. And sooner or later, she's inevitably how I'll die. Anyway, point is, I'm attuned to the paranormal, but I wasn't born with any real psychic gift, if you even believe in that stuff. So I have no way of knowing what's out there knocking on that door. I'm about 30 seconds away from opening it out of sheer curiosity, but survival instinct and the fact that the cat vanishes the moment I grip the knob keep me from doing so. Instead, I sink down against the wall, tucking out my phone. Maybe the other victims can shed some light. And presto, when I search for Quentin S., I find an update in local news. Oakside man's body found in home, cause of death unknown. Authorities are investigating the death of a 67-year-old Quentin S., whose body was found in a crawl space beneath the stairs of his home. So, he didn't disappear. But then where is Lucia? According to the police report, a neighbor decided to check on Quentin after noticing that his front door was ajar. It was not clear how long Quentin had been dead. The neighbor told police that Quentin's mouth was open in a scream. In a subsequent interview, the neighbor, who asked to remain anonymous, saying he feared for his safety, said, "I can't stop thinking about it. The way his eyes were bulged out. I'll never forget it. It looked like something chased him under the stairs and literally scared him to death." Huh. Good thing I didn't open it, I think, eyeing the front door of Lucia's unit, then chasing right on the heels of that thought. But what did he see that scared him to death? One of my best or worst qualities as an investigator is an insatiable curiosity like an itch, especially if warnings are blaring. Been like that since I was a kid. What's this red button do? Set off an alarm, and I was grounded. What's in these confidential files on my dad's computer? Proof he's cheating. Again, grounded. What happens if I sit in that cursed chair that kills everyone that sits in it? Actually, I haven't done that one yet, because Emma wouldn't let me. The chair is still on my bucket list, or as she calls it, my obscenely stupid list. I should probably check in with my girl before I give in to the urge to do something obscenely stupid. But first, what happened to Lucia? Did she flee? I glance around the living room, narrow my eyes on a couple of envelopes on the floor, right at my fingertips. Letters, like she was picking through the mail while opening the door. Drop the mail. In shock? Fear? Drop mail, then where did she go? The front door is where it would have been, so if she fled, she'd run to the bedroom or bathroom. I checked the bathroom, but it is tiny and there is no one behind the shower curtain. Bedroom then. At the end of the hall, its door open. The landlady already checked in there. Closet? But the closet had a sliding door already ajar, and I can see the cat peeking out. I push it further open and peer inside. Nothing but clothes and shoes. Cat. The cat is crying. The cat is clawing at my pant leg. And looking at something, I realize. The cat is looking at something under the bed. And I get that feeling. That sinking in my gut. My limbs heavy, my heartbeat suddenly slamming my ears. The cat looks back at me and meows. I don't hear him over the rush of my own blood. The apartment is empty except for me and this loudly screaming cat. I lift up the edge of the bedsheet and drop down to my knees and peer under the bed. Here is Lucia. Mouth wide open in a shriek and body stiff in a fetal posture of terror, hiding from whatever entered when she opened that door. Quentin's neighbor didn't do the description justice. I'm huddled on the floor holding the cat and I can't breathe. My pulse is slamming out of rhythm with that knocking, and I can't tell anymore whether the pounding is from the door or my heart. It's so fucking loud and I can't breathe, and fuck, why did I look at her face? Suddenly I feel like such an idiot. Such a phenomenally hopeless idiot for all those knock jokes. Now I listen to that knocking and all I can see is Lucia's eyes. The bloodshot whites and the way her jaw is all but unhinged in a shriek you can practically hear. Hell, I think I can hear it. Somewhere beneath the knocking. Lord knows I've had my share of scares. I thought I knew terror, but whatever left Lucia like this, I can't meet it. I'm not going to end with my face stretched like hers and that god-awful sanity-shattering scream. No. No. I can't go like that. Go away. I holler, not even caring if the landlady hears me now. Why, oh why didn't I just do what I was supposed to do? And study. I should have learned by now to follow my girl's advice, which is to make up for my misdeeds in some ordinary way. Donate to good causes, volunteer, become a public servant or work for an actual charity or a cat rescue or literally anything, as long as I'm not poking around the paranormal. This morning the plan was so simple. All I had to do was pass the practice test for my GED and not friend some haunted dude on Discord. Emma's gonna be so pissed at me. And that's before she finds out what I did to her potted plant. I guess you could just call me Brittany now. Knock knock. Who's there? Brittany. Brittany who? I fucked up, babe. Knock knock. Who's there? Brittany? Brittany who? Oops, I did it.